The officer responded to a vehicle accident and was checking on the driver and stepped over the railing. You can see there to go check on the driver, and you can hear him saying, "Are you okay?" And for some unknown reason, the driver just starts not attacking, but approaching the officer armed with a knife, and doesn't say a word, and just keeps approaching the officer. And the officer's begging the guy to drop the knife, and eventually has to shoot him.
Let's watch it. So he has a knife. Okay, let's watch.
Get the knife away, man! Don't put the knife away!
That was the moment, the violent end to a short confrontation on Highway 101. You can see here there is something in the man's hand. CHP says it was this 4-inch knife. Let's rewind and show you what led up to the shooting. In the beginning of the video, the CHP officer can be seen approaching the vehicle after it had crashed into a guardrail.
Hey man, you okay? You okay, man?
The man exits the vehicle holding a knife. The officer commands the man to put the knife away.
Put the knife away!
A total of 7 times while walking backwards.
You can hear the fear in the officer's voice. As the officer is retreating, he's getting closer and closer to the patrol vehicle, and then you see the officer and the subject, James Combs, leave the view of the camera. A few seconds later, you hear 2 shots being fired.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Mark.
We lost your audio, Mark.
There went the
Mark. We lost your audio.
I'm thinking I've been in that situation so many times where you're just thinking that you're there for some guy crashes car, and then like you've heard the officers like, "You okay, buddy? You okay? You're all right?" That's how any of us would handle something like that. And then that turns into this, and I'm going to say it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I'm going to say suicide by cop, right?
Yeah. It just, again, I mean, I think this is about the 4th week in a row that we've shown an officer having to shoot an armed person with a knife. And again, this officer walking backwards, we talked about that last week. We had the same situation. That's really dangerous. You're trying to walk, and who knows? There's probably all kinds of crap on the road there.
Probably a lot of
for him to trip over
on the side of the roadway. Yeah.
And
it all happened Saturday evening, just after 7, when CHP was called to a solo vehicle collision on Highway 101 off Ralph Lane.
It looks like the officer is there to render aid, to make sure the subject is okay, since he had been involved in a crash, and the escalation by the subject happened rather quickly.
The man shot and killed has been identified as James Combs. The officer, Felix Prieto, has been placed on administrative leave.
Put the knife away!
I feel bad for the officer because no one wants that.
No.
Nobody wants to deal with that. And
no, when he went to work that day, that was the last thing. He just thought he was showing up to help somebody that was in a vehicle accident and didn't expect to have somebody. I mean, maybe the guy hit his head. Who knows? I mean, why he would do that? I mean, only he's going to know.
Yeah, not only that, but again, the officer safety element, for the people who want to criticize the officer is that man was really close to the officer, and the officer's walking backwards. All would have taken for the officer to trip and fall backwards. That guy would have been on him like white on rice, man.
One bad step,
and that officer would have been dead or seriously injured from a knife attack. And I tried to find the body camera footage, but I don't know if
they don't have them. That office doesn't have body cameras yet.
Oh, they don't have. Okay, so that's
so they got that really good. They got that really good car system that's going forward, right? And then he's got a microphone that he's wearing.
Okay,
that transmits back to the car. Some of the offices have body cameras. Some officers have their, like me. My last few years, I have my own body camera I bought. But the Highway Patrol has not supplied all 7,000 of their officers yet with body cameras. They're still testing different systems. So certain areas you go to, they're going to have full body camera systems.
Okay.
Eventually, though, they're going to get the type where it goes on automatically, and then the officers drive in and everything just uploads. The car is already set up that way. All the video in the car, officers can't even touch it. They pull into the office, it all uploads, so nothing can be tampered with.
Well, it's kind
Right.
of funny because a lot of times, like with the CHP cars, everybody waits because, you know, CHP is going to have to buy so many of them. That's a huge contract to buy that many cameras, you know.
Being body cameras?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're going to need them for the patrol, right? So 7,000
Yeah.
officers, let's say 4,000 are on patrol, right? Yeah, so you got to have enough cameras to serve each
Wow.
patrol office, and then you got to have the infrastructure to upload all that data. Then how long are you going to keep that data, right? I mean, I did a crash on my body camera. I filmed a crash southbound at 101 at the two rock there, the rock roads or whatever down there. And I know it was on body camera because I own the body camera. And then every day I would turn in the footage. 2 years later, I get subpoenaed for court. I'd already retired, and I had to do it. And I did a deposition. No one paid me, by the way. And I kept saying, you know, check the footage, check the camera footage. I know I was running a body camera that day, and the higher patrol had already dumped the footage after 1 year.
Wow.
You know, it wasn't a felony. It was just a minor collision. It was some sort of render, you know, maybe a complaint of pain or something like that. And the policy was, we don't want to hold on to this data any longer, have to. So after 1 year, they dumped it. And I'm like, they had a lot of questions about who said what and who was faking being hurt and all like that. And I said, well, I had my opinions about it, and I gave my opinions, but the body camera footage would have made it so much better, because you could have seen, you know, I basically thought that the one lady was full of shit, complaining about her injuries. I'm not a doctor, but I've been around enough. And I said, you know, if you would have watched my interactions with her on video, I think it would have shown what I was talking about. But, you know, they're just not going to, you know, at this day and age, you can't just take an officer's word for it anymore, sadly, because so many officers have got caught lying about stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to, so the DAs and the attorneys are going to rely on the camera footage. So, yeah, but I just feel for that officer.
Yeah, he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. You know.
Yeah, just doing his job.
And not only that, it probably sure scared the crap out of him. You know, it would me. Some nutcase coming at me with a knife for no reason at all.
Can't say nutcase anymore.
Oh yeah, you can. You can say white on rice too.
Oh, you got that, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
It's a new era. We can say these things now.
Is that not politically
if you
correct?
see it, and if you see someone on the bridge, you can only call him a Yahtzee.
Yeah.
That's a Morgan Hill joke. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway,
Yahtzee
what was that?